This is Girls Night Out, the podcast.
Welcome to episode 18 of Girls Night Out. I'm Gavin Stevens.
I'm Jordan Shear.
I'm Manola Santanos.
I'm Mace Galoni.
I'm Megan Pettit.
So there was an Iranian scientist who now claims that he has developed a time machine, which is interesting. I don't think there's any... I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But he's claimed that he's developed a time machine. So,
yeah,
I would like to see him go back. No, actually, his time machine, he says that he can predict the future. But I thought it would be interesting to see if you guys could go back in time to any era or in the future. Where would you go?
I think traveling past is impossible.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I mean, if traveling ahead is impossible, you think?
No, traveling backwards is impossible.
really?
Yeah, traveling
Why?
backwards is impossible, but going forward is
possible.
possible.
Yeah.
See, I've heard it the other way.
No, I heard it's
What about Back to the Future?
Backwards is impossible.
backwards is impossible.
Well, it's true. Back to the Future was a documentary.
That's a valid argument. That's a very valid argument.
Traveling back.
That is, isn't that a documentary?
Just when you
Yeah,
think
it
you
was.
haven't figured out, someone throws the Back to the Future theory in.
Is it a DeLorean?
Yeah.
This guy says that he can go 98 years into the future.
Whoa.
So did he tell?
It's just the same like this.
Did he say anything about fucking 98 years from now? Did he say anything?
No, he's full of shit.
Well,
He can't actually do it.
well, no, but
He's definitely full of
wouldn't
shit.
you wasn't that the first question? Like, I went,
Yeah.
checked it out in 98 years. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't have years anymore.
Who can dispute it?
Yeah, well, give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah, can he only go 98 years, or can he do stuff in between?
I think he could do stuff in between, but
Then shouldn't he just be able to predict something?
he should, in theory, he should
An hour
definitely
in
should
the
be able
future.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely should be
Yeah.
able to. At least Nostradamus gave predictions.
Yeah.
This guy's not even doing that.
How are you hearing about this?
News website.
Doesn't sound like a news website.
Can you just report to the news website?
Sounds like it sounds like some kid. You're like,
I
website.
made it up. No, I did see it today. I saw that somebody posted the link on Facebook.
Was it Bat Boy?
Was it what?
Bat Boy?
Yeah.
You know what I like about time travel
Bat
movies
Boy.
now? Bat Boy. You know what is Bat Boy?
Cover on National Enquirer. It was
Oh, Bat Boy.
a bat with a boy's face.
It was just
screaming.
they had like Wolf Boy and Dog Boy.
Bat Boy. More believable.
Yeah, because he was a bat raised by bats.
Yes.
He had a question though. What was your question?
My question was if any of you could travel back in time, or you can go anywhere. Our hypothetical time machine, you can go back in time, you can go to the future. Where would you go?
I would go back to, and I couldn't do it. I'd have to have a white person to do it. But I'd go back to New York, and I'd buy a lot of real estate.
In when, 19...
Early 1900s.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd buy tons of fucking real estate. Well, you got $1,000, you can buy some stuff. I'd buy a couple of buildings, and then just come back here.
I'd go back in time to to the beginning of slavery, with when black people were slaves in the States, and I'd go back as a black person, but I want to be like one of those fit black, like those.
So you're going blackface in time.
What? I want to be a black person.
You're the blackface time traveler.
No, hear me out. But apparently, during slave era, the masters would pick the strongest black guy and make him have sex with all the black girls because they wanted their babies to have good genes, so they be stronger slaves. I want to be
the guy that had sex with everyone.
Yeah, I want to be like
a stud.
Yeah, I want to be a stud.
In blackface.
No, I don't. I want to be.
Smearing.
No, but I want to be black.
No, there is no changing race.
Yeah, look at this time machine.
Your time machine can get me back in time, but it can't change the color of my skin. Fuck
You
you.
have to go blackface.
Your dad's gonna have to have sex
Yeah.
with the black woman.
You have to go back as
Fine, I'll
So
go.
you want to go back and become a slave? So you get a slave.
I want to be.
I'll go back.
That's the thing I've ever heard.
I'll go back, coerce his dad into having sex with a black woman, and then send Manolis back from there so he can get fit and have sex with all
No.
It's not a bad idea.
You know you can have sex with a black woman this day and age. Right?
No, but that guy would
He
get
wants
to.
to be forced.
No. That guy would have to have sex. Not have to. He's probably really happy about it. But he was told to have sex.
situation was a party.
There was that one slave that was like, "This ain't so bad.
There's a one slave that was, this ain't so bad,
This ain't so bad."
as he mounted women.
Yeah, but he's like, "You have to have sex with 50 women in the next like week or so, okay, Doug?" I'm like, "Okay, boss."
Doug?
I don't know.
But the women wouldn't be happy about it.
What?
Doug, J.
That's basically rape. But
No, it's not raped. If I'm just listening to my boss. What are you talking about? I'm not raping women now. Don't put that on me. I'm not changing history. I'm
trying
not
to earn a
It
living.
is rape involved.
There's no
Earn
rape.
a living.
You're both being raped in this situation. I guess you would like it, so you're not being raped.
Listen, I'm just trying to keep
Why
history
couldn't you go back
alive.
in time and be Caesar and have sex with any woman in fucking in ancient Rome?
I don't know. 'Cause it's kind of hot whenever I think about it. When this one dude was like, just because he was the most fit, he's like, you're the chosen one. You have to have sex with these.
What do you think? Like, fucking, you're gonna do Pilates and go back in time?
But the fact that he's fit meant he also probably had to do like tons of work in the field and stuff.
I'd do that work if it meant I got to fuck all the chicks. You think I'll go to the gym now
Fair
because
enough.
I want to work out? I'm trying to look decent enough that I can get laid once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can go back in time and be anything and get laid every once in a while, right? Like
Yeah.
you're using time
Mick
travel to
Jagger.
get fucked.
Yeah.
Like
It's not a bad idea. Okay? It's not a bad idea.
you're gonna
Who you want to be?
defy the
You want
principles of physics.
you have to be a slave.
Get laid.
You're a slave.
No, I'm not
He's
going to
buying
be a
property.
time traveling.
You're
I'm going to
prop-
buy property.
Buying property.
You're-
Not
no,
Apple
you
stock,
are property, okay?
Oh, I could do that too.
Apple
You
stock.
are property in that time.
But if I bought property, you know, like how rich I would be now. Like how rich I would be now. Apple stocks, all of it. You don't realize how rich I would be now.
Your boss says, Gavin, go fucking move hay for 12 hours. Or Gavin, go fuck all those broads over there. Which one do you pick?
Well, I'm buying
Thank
property,
you.
so I'm not moving hay.
But that's assuming he's already a slave.
Yeah, that's right.
You
No,
could
it's
just not be a
slave.
slave.
Well, no, the time where there was slavery.
But you're a time traveling slave.
That's
I'm going back to be a slave to fuck broads.
Now, clarification point. Do you go and stay there?
Yeah.
Or can
Yeah,
you go and...
I stay.
No, you
Like,
go-
can
you
you
go
go
on it, right?
at your own will?
I would say you could,
hop in the DeLorean.
you could go and come back.
Okay.
But if
Maybe
you want
it is.
to, if you want
Maybe
to
it
stay,
holds
you
up.
can stay.
Think
That's
about
your decision.
Think about the most expensive neighborhoods in New York. Like right now, think about the most expensive neighborhood in New York, and you bought like 2 brownstones in there.
Yeah.
It's like what 100 years later? Over 100 years later, you know how much money, you know how rich you would be.
You gotta be a landlord.
I would hate to play
No, you
Monopoly.
wouldn't be a landlord.
It's all, the money game's always
Sell it.
it's always
Lottery
going to be there.
numbers, and then you got all the money. I don't want your dream is to be a landlord.
No, it's your own property.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a
That's
landlord, buy the Beatles place that got torn down in Liverpool.
Yeah, you can buy property anywhere.
Buy that
I just
for-
in New York. Because New York, it's all like, you can't live there. It's so expensive.
You just want to buy property, I think. That's what's
Property-
on your mind. He wants to fuck black chicks. You want to buy property. It's all
Yeah.
coming out. What do you want?
Because
I
property
don't know.
appreciates.
I would go to the future.
And that's it?
Live in the future, man.
Oh.
You guys are
I
babies.
thought
You
it-
guys have futures. This is the thing that you guys get to experience.
Yeah,
We're in
but I
the
wanna
future
go,
now,
like-
man.
Yeah, this is our future.
What do you
right
want to do in
now.
the future?
I want to just like be submersed in all the technology
Yeah.
in the future.
I think I would... But the only problem with that, though, is that when you come back, this time would be boring.
I wouldn't come back.
Okay, but hear me out. Your money would be worthless that you travel with now. You'd be broke as shit when you get to the future.
Yeah, but you'd be broke if you went back in time too, because your money, your legal tender would just look weird to them,
Not really.
Oh, that's a...
wouldn't it?
I think
No.
it would. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Why? If you had
Come
like a
back with
modern day
some
$1,000, they'd be like, that means nothing.
They wouldn't have made that yet, so
Yeah.
it would just look like something you printed.
All right, well, figure it
But
out.
see, but the jizz in the
Take
balls.
gold.
The jizz in my balls.
Yeah, gold. That's true. Wait a second.
It's
Go back.
still jizz in my balls.
Hey.
That doesn't change.
Your theory is fucked. I'd go back with gold. She's right. Gold. Gold is
Okay.
always gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Gold is always gold.
Yeah, you figured out that problem. That's true.
Yeah.
Diamonds, gold. I'll go back with that shit. Buy my property.
Go back with a ShamWow.
Just like a
But then
grill.
you
just
have the
a
problem
grill.
of acquiring gold here. How are you going to get rich in this time?
Because you go back to a certain time where you know a certain event happened where you can get gold. You take the gold. Can we move through space too? Is it time and space or just time?
Did you have to go through
Make
space?
your own rules. You become
Yeah,
Russell
I think
Oliver.
you can go through
you get all
space.
the gold.
You
Like,
can
like 8
pick a
years from
locate.
now.
If you can go time and space, yeah, you can pick up gold anyway.
Yeah, you got to be able to go through space too.
But
yeah.
then if that's the case, why not just steal? why even bother with the property?
That's what I was doing. But I'm buying the property too because I want to go legit, and then I want to go to the future where you guys are, and be like, you guys can't fucking touch my technology. I live in this fucking mansion.
You wouldn't let us touch your technology?
So fuck yourself. I'm rich. And I live in a space dome, a flying city.
All right, I'm going to go back, own the plantation that he's on, get rich that way. And then
a lot of those people didn't, and it didn't end well for them.
Oh, I don't know.
Be a Rockefeller or something.
The whole slavery thing didn't end well?
No, it went great. It's still going good. How about you? What would you do? Forward, back?
And you don't have to stay.
I feel like we are going back in time anyway. I mean, take away my abortion rights and, take away... Then what's left, right? Then everyone has babies and then they can't work because they got to take care of their fetuses. And
that's my theory. I think there's a conspiracy in all of this. Can I get into it? Or are you guys...
Look, I don't...
No, go ahead. Say yourself.
Mason, too.
Yeah, the both of you, too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
So where do you want to go? Forward or back?
I don't want to go anywhere. I don't even want to.
You're content?
Yeah. I don't want to go relive some awkward conversation from yesterday. I don't want to know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm here right now. Yes.
You just get back to awkward moments in your life because that's all. All we can do is take you back to that moment where you're talking to that dude.
Great.
Is there
that guy's lying on top of you and told you the condom broke.
Is there a historical period you'd want to go and just visit for the day?
Yeah, I want to ride a dinosaur. Why not? I mean,
there you go.
Well, then you understand the concept.
Yeah.
Ride a dinosaur. Any of them.
Yeah, I don't think
pterodactyl. I'm just going to...
I don't think you get it.
You're going to go back and get eaten by a dinosaur.
You're a mouse.
The little hands at the end of the wings on a pterodactyl. We're going to hold hands.
Those are claws. Those are hands.
Yeah, we're going to hold on to those claws. Like She-Ra. Is that just
She-Ra.
She-Ra.
And Mace, where do you forward or back?
Oh, I would go back and be a female slave.
You guys can do that now. You don't need a time machine. For
It's about the mood, Gavin.
Period piece.
Yeah, I would probably go to the future too, but just to check it out. I don't think I'd want to stay in any other time period. I think I'd
maybe check out the Bigfoot thing too, where that shot was taken. I'd like to see what was
actually
going on.
that's a cool idea too.
Right there, right before that.
Oh, this the blurry shot?
Yeah, blurry shot of Bigfoot, so you just know.
I'd like to be a superhero too, get weapons and shit from the future and then fight shit in the past.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What if there is no weapons in the future?
Yeah.
Right. Come on, whatever. 20 years from now, kids are going to be laser gunning each other in school.
All right.
You know what? You're right, actually.
That's what's going to happen. The murders are going to be quicker and less bodies.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They're going to just vaporize.
There'll be a machine, too, right?
Yeah.
Like what you do when you die. Cremating machine. But eventually it'll be you can buy those.
Those will just be on street corners.
Yeah, you can have one in your house somehow.
I think in the future we're gonna be so nonchalant about death. It's gonna be everywhere. Remember in Futurama where they had those death machines?
Yeah.
It's kind of that shit. I think we're gonna be so. Death is happening. There's a tragedy every fucking month now.
Yeah.
Every month there's something.
It seems like it's building over the past, especially over the past 2 months. There's been so many.
They just bust some dudes now that were gonna blow up a train
in Toronto. Yeah, there was 2
Really?
terrorists. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Yeah, there was 2 terrorists that they caught in Toronto who were planning on derailing a train that was going from Toronto to New York. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then the Boston bombing.
But see, I don't think death will ever become a nonchalant thing, because I think the people's obsession with death is fearing their own. We might get desensitized to other people dying.
Yeah.
But still, you're going to fear your own life.
For sure.
But I think our perceptions of tragedies increasing are just I think it's our perception. I don't think tragedies are actually increasing now. I think it's just our perception of it. Our crime rate's the lowest it's been since 74?
Yeah, and violent crime has gone down.
Yeah, it's gone down drastically. So I think it's just our obsession with seeing it on the news.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. Yeah.
It's like news-ertainment. It's entertainment to watch tragedies now. And tragedies equal ratings for news networks. So people develop this thing called mean world syndrome, where once you watch like all those 24-hour news rolls and you're seeing tragedy, death, where you think that the world's a lot more cruel than it is now.
Yeah, there is more, but I think
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
There's more reporting because we have more access to it.
Yeah.
With your thing, I disagree. I think we're going to become nonchalant. I think we're going to be so desensitized by it.
No, I just think, do you think we'll get to a point where we won't even care about our own death?
Yeah, I think it'll become very
I think
casual.
I'm there.
That's where we're heading to. I don't even know this is.
And do you think that's like desensitization to religion, or do you think it's just a better understanding of like biology, or what do you think?
I think we're leaning towards nihilism. I don't know. I could be wrong.
What's that word mean?
I just don't believe in anything.
It's like just like the belief in nothing. So you just don't care. You wouldn't care about anything.
Yeah, you wouldn't care about it. But I think I also agree with you with what you're saying about the tragedies. Okay, what Death World? What's it called?
Mean World Syndrome?
Yeah. But I also think there are more things happening. I think it feels like someone's getting sick of this fucking society. Mm-hmm. It just feels like people are like, I can't do this anymore.
Do you think that's
Young
what
men.
the news...
It just feels... like not just the tragedies, but the protests, the Wall Street stuff, the just seeing all it just feels like people are like
You think now more than
up.
ever?
Just feels like people are waking up, and it's just like nothing's working. That's what it feels like. That's what I feel.
Holding control is harder, I think, for government. All these different governments around the world that are having more problems keeping control of the people.
Well, it's called cracking, I think. It's all like everyone's seeing through the seams now, whereas before you didn't see through the seams.
Is that like a connectedness because of like, do you guys think the internet, which is like a global community, we're all able to like talk and develop our own opinions and like talk to people who have different opinions?
Yeah.
Do you think that's why we're becoming like...
I think the most people that are trying to make a stand are the ones that are being watched. They're not the ones on the internet. Just people that watch, like the people that follow this stuff more are the ones that are not protesting. You know what I'm saying? I think.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
When I was at the G20, I wasn't protesting. I lived down there, but it just felt like you just realized that we're just nobody matters. Like you don't mean shit. You don't mean anything. And
well, I feel that already, like with cops.
No. I mean the companies mean more. I agree with you, but the cops are just there to guard companies.
It's the consumers that have a choice, though, too. If everybody stood up against whatever it is they believed in,
here's the thing
just
I
don't
realized.
accept it.
Here's the thing I was watching TV and then going outside and seeing what's going on with the riots. And I'm inside watching TV and they're reporting it a certain way. People on my Facebook are like, well, why are those people down there? Why the fuck are they there? Why are they breaking a Starbucks window? Then you go outside, that's not happening at all. But there's people being attacked by cops.
Well, people were vandalizing a bit, weren't they? There's video of it.
There's a couple of people. But what's worse, an old lady getting shoved down or a Starbucks window getting cracked?
I love my coffee.
I know. Do you know what I mean? But you didn't see that other stuff. You didn't see the cops shoving people down. You didn't see cops. We were in one where they were just charging at people, but knocking them down.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think the bigger picture is the fact that the whole thing was set up to happen. Those leaders that were having these fucking meetings didn't need to. They could have had that meeting in a plane.
This is what I'm saying is that he was showing a statement. He was justifying spending that money. I'm just saying is like being in that situation, you realize you don't mean anything.
But those leaders knew. I know what you're saying, but those leaders that got together have this. What is it? G20 is a gathering of leaders to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the
with that
20
meeting,
richest nations.
One of the most developed nations.
But that meeting could happen anywhere. They knew all this was going to happen. They were like, you can't tell us not to have the meeting. We're having the meeting anyways. Fucking, what are you talking about? Spend all this money to stop all this shit that's going to happen?
I agree with you.
Or put it on a plane.
They knew everything was all set up. All I'm saying is, when you're in there, you realize that you're worth nothing. What's worth more is the banks and the companies.
As a protester, you're worth nothing?
I lived down there. I wasn't even a protester.
But as just a citizen?
Just a citizen, and we're so duped. The people that are not there are against you because of the propaganda. If you watch television, they always make protesters sound like troublemakers.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely
they always make, and people hate protesters.
And you feel like when you went outside, the crime was not as much as the news was perpetuating.
No, it got bad. Here's what happened. Okay, so the week before they started the cop training. They brought in all these cops and stuff. And like I was at open mics and you see cops running around the city, like just in training. Mm-hmm. And so the week before, or a couple of days before, the week before the Sunday, they had the VMA, what was it? Much Music Awards. Mm-hmm. And fucking cops were crazy all over the place. And then the Saturday night or the Saturday night of G20, that's when the cop cars were lit on fire. That's when everything went to fucking shit. Cop cars were lit on fire. There was the vandalism happened. The cops didn't do shit. They were fucking a few blocks away. Then Sunday rolled around and they were like, go outside and enjoy the day. People were in restaurants and shit. They rounded up everybody.
Right.
And they kettled them on Spadina and Queen.
Right.
And then kept them there for hours and then took people to detention centers and then dropped them off in like fucking up in Etobicoke, all over the city. Just
I heard the places too, they didn't have Wi-Fi. These people,
they didn't have bathrooms. People pissed themselves in the trucks.
They couldn't check
like
the Facebooks.
People pissed themselves in the trucks, like they were peeing themselves.
And they couldn't tweet about it.
Yeah, they couldn't tweet. And they were
it's
like slavery all over again.
They kettled all these people and they threw them all over the place. And then so you just realize that you're worth nothing.
But I think you're right though about the people outside of that. Were against the protesters, and I think there was way more of that than the people like you that actually got to witness it.
Well, that's
And I think the general opinion is like this idea that all this bad stuff is happening.
You think most people were against the protesters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
the way they showed them in the news.
Well, the reason they're showing that in the news is like that is because they do that on purpose to get specifically for ratings.
Yeah.
But when I read like internet articles on it, it really did not seem like people were against the protesters.
But how many people choose to inform themselves about it like you do?
Yeah, and write on the internet.
The
the
journalism.
people who are writing on the internet were just like the people. I don't know.
No.
I mean about reading it. Like you chose to read that. I think most people wouldn't have even done that. They would have just watched the news and saw people like throwing stuff in through windows.
I got in so many fights on Facebook by people, like just average people, like, oh, well, you shouldn't be down there. That's the one I got.
I think the biggest scam is the protesters all going. I think it would have been fucking brilliant if no one showed up.
Yeah, you're right.
It would fucking be it would have been fucking genius. Just cops and no one there.
But they had cops there.
No, but the cops would show up. I'm talking about the protesters. What are they, like all these cops walk around, they're like there's armed, and there's nothing happening.
But
they look
they
like fucking fools. All that money. What?
They had cops amongst the protesters.
I'm saying if the protesters
So you
never
just have all those
well, cops, they don't know that the protesters are not going to show up. Protesters, it's just a bunch of cops.
Well, they knew, yeah.
Right? So that would have been genius.
Yeah, I think it would have been a bigger...
That's how they could have fucked them.
And then everyone just sits on the internet and talks
I think it would have been...
It would have been the same thing.
Same thing.
I think it would have been a bigger message about, like, police brutality, because it'd be all these guys with, like, heavily armed and stuff, and there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
And yet it shows that they were
He'd look like an idiot.
To me,
that's a good point.
It's a waste of time to do it in the first place because it was set up for that. Like, they shouldn't have been there. This comes back. These people, these leaders should not have been there.
Yeah, that was the protest.
That's a responsible thing to do. Have the fucking meeting.
But maybe it got people thinking, why are they protesting this? And maybe more people did their research, and
it was because they spent like so much money, right?
They spent like 1 point something.
I'm not saying
the
protesters don't have the right to protest what these views are. I'm just saying
a better tactic.
I'm saying it's the leaders are the assholes. For like they knew this was going to happen, so they were like, it's just like.
It's like how much of an asshole somebody looks when they're ready to fight and the other person doesn't want to fight.
You ever see on TV? You ever see on TV when like someone's trying to sneak into a building or something, like one of those 80s shows? Yeah. So that the guy will have a rock and he'll throw it. There's a guard. And he wants to hop the fence. Yeah. He'll take a rock and throw it like as far as he can, so that it'll make a sound. The guard looks and he fucking hops the fence.
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's all it was, like fucking just distraction. And so now we can do what we really want. They're all fucking going to jail and shit. Let's fucking.
Nobody went to jail. That's the thing. Nobody went to jail.
But they're all. There's all these cases happening now.
We don't even really know what they talked about.
Yeah. It sort of draws the attention on the protest itself and the cruelty of the cops on the
propaganda, really.
People got charged though, like sued. My ex-boyfriend had comments on YouTube about one of the officers, and then he was sued by the officer for comments he put on YouTube. Yeah, so
Wow.
he had to take it down. He had to, and he had to close his account. And I'm not too sure where it's at now, but it was a lot of money, and it's just a guy on.
Do you remember what the comment was?
Yeah.
It was that Officer Bubbles or something. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah,
that one
yeah,
that
became
got the bubbles
famous.
in his face,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he had said something about he looks like he spends a lot of time looking at himself in the mirror.
That's
And
it.
That was the comment, and then he was forced to take it down, shut his account, because he was even in the newspaper talking about it.
What was the basis of getting sued? You know what I mean? Like what?
Defamation.
The charge,
Character,
right?
defamation.
Oh, interesting.
But it's just an opinion. He just said he looks like
I
something.
know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I don't
slander,
know.
would that be
I have no
slander?
idea how far it went and everything, but he was talking about it.
They cracked a whip.
Depends. It's like a subjective thing, right? So if the officer took offense to it, then he's allowed to like sue, right?
Is that how it works?
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Really?
for defamation, you have to prove that it affected you somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
maybe he got. I have no idea.
Can't look at mirrors anymore.
It's like a vampire.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, the cops hated the city hated the cops at that time.
Yeah.
They both hated each other.
Which was also set up.
And there was another protest in front of the 51st Division.
Before, I forget what we were talking about, but you said this ties into the conspiracy theory.
You said
and
that.
it seemed like you were
Oh,
going to bring up something. I don't know if you were.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
from before when you guys are.
I think
time
we're-
traveling. Oh, the time traveling. I was saying because you were saying how we're gonna all have babies and stuff.
Yeah, the whole abortion thing.
Yeah, like I think what's left, right? If every woman is forced to have babies, right? Because of course there would be like illegal abortions and whatever, right? But like say that's not even going on, right? Women are forced to have babies, then it would just regress so much that it would just be that like what's the choice then? Women would be forced to probably get married.
Okay, what's your opinion? Because I was thinking, I'd like to know what a girl thinks about this. It's like when someone's like, well, then you should have you should have thought that before you got pregnant.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, religious
what's
people
the
will say something like
explanation,
that, right?
So, like, now there's a bunch of, like, unwanted children, right? So, like, what's the other explanation? Now it's going to be like, well, now you have to wait till marriage or whatever, right?
In terms of America, the unwanted children go to prison or they go to war. Big business. The best citizen in America, I think, is a teenage single mother. Because she'll always be in the system. She'll always have to work a job. She'll always work shitty jobs. And she'll always need welfare or something like that. She'll always need help from the state, which is money that generates. The worst person is old people. If they could kill them sooner, it'd be better because you don't want them on the pension. They're taking money. They're not productive.
You want to kill old people.
You want to kill old people
True.
because they're not productive.
So obese, right?
So that's why you need like inner city kids because prisons and jail, big business. Prisons and war is big business, and you need to feed and clothe people. So you need they're guinea pigs. So that's my theory on it. And the reason why the church likes straight marriage is because they want us to be a farm system so they can fuck our boys. That's my theory. I remember a guy telling me once that a guy from LA told me how sometimes they drive like a truck full of guns into the neighborhood. I don't know how true that is. But it's not a coincidence that you got like fucking liquor stores and gun stores.
Black neighborhoods?
Yeah, and you got like check cashing stores. That's all things to keep you into a certain level.
Well, we were talking last night about the conspiracy theory about why rap was made.
Yeah.
Because of the record companies apparently had stakes in private prisons. So when rap was first being developed, it was like, if you listen to old NWA and stuff like that, which I think is like the main group that they like were supposed to perpetuate the like committing crimes and stuff like that, they talk about committing crimes and make it cool. Because these record companies apparently had stakes in private prisons, so they were trying to make the crime rate go up.
Is that proof? Is there proof of that?
I haven't researched this, so I
hip
can't.
hop
But
started.
this is a conspiracy theory, right?
Okay.
There's-
It might have
conspiracy
happened.
theories.
I don't think it started with hip hop. I don't think they started hip hop. Because hip hop started where it was like an outside music. Nobody wanted it. It was just a fad.
What about Muhammad Ali, right? They say he kind of had something to do with hip hop a bit?
Yeah, all that stuff. Like it goes back, but it was mainly like neighborhoods and stuff with doing it themselves. Everyone thought it was a fad, and what they did was they took the other elements out of it and they took what they could sell. So you can sell someone rapping as opposed to selling someone dancing. Like you can put that in someone's house. So hip hop is 5 elements of emceeing, the b-boy, the tagging, the DJing, and I think street culture. Right, that's the 5 elements.
But it was someone like Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Where like in his heyday, it was more about like trials and tribulations of like fighting against all that shit. Wouldn't that go against that theory?
No, he wasn't.
No, in NWA, if you listen to Ice Cube's lyrics, he's really...
I'm talking about Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube. He was in the NWA.
I know, but I mean, I'm talking about his solo stuff.
Even his solo stuff, he wasn't against it.
I'd say it was. It was more about like...
Now, when he's in Disney movies, maybe.
No, he still doesn't.
What's that line? There's a line in one of his CDs that's like, in every society, prisons where they send their failures. But
I'd
in
like
America,
you to wrap it, please.
it was a news thing that they played before the song. What can I do? I think it's called or something. But in this society itself is failing, and then the song starts. It's like I don't know. I think he was against it. I think he was really.
If you listen to a whole album of anyone, you'd see there's different opinions and different things on everything in the album.
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't know if they're against it.
I think there's a deep meaning, and you can do it. Put your back into it. I can do it.
Okay, listen. From that album on, garbage. That was a horrible
I don't
song.
listen to Ice Cube that much.
That was a horrible song. Disgusting.
I think with like
and I'm a sexual pig, and I was like, "What are you doing, dude?"
You latched on to every girl's butt. You know it.
I think that came from the culture. Like I was telling you before, is like these aren't naive people making this music. Like I said, Ice Cube knows he's making Disney movies. But that's what the culture.
Now he is.
Yeah, but they were always like that.
Doesn't that almost reassure the conspiracy theory more, though?
It's not so conspiracy in hip hop. Like,
But I mean, like, yeah, it might have started with like that violent culture to begin with. But like, isn't it possible?
Didn't
for
start
I
them-
think they utilized it.
But
it didn't start in violent culture.
okay, wasn't it possible for them to like capitalize and utilize hip hop to invest in it and make it more violent? Because if it didn't start violent, doesn't that?
This is what I'm trying to say: is hip hop started as okay. If no one wants to use liquor companies to help us promote this shit, we will. Do you know what I mean? Hip hop has always been about hustling and making your money. So I was just watching the beef in hip hop is huge. It like drives industry.
Yeah,
rappers hating each other, that drives the entire industry. So someone like Roxanne Shante Marley Marl came out with battle rap, and then they had this whole thing, and there was like 25 records on Roxanne Shante battling because they knew that would make money. Do you know what I mean? They knew that would make money. So when you get to gangster rap, when NWA comes around, they knew that would make money. What happened though with hip hop is that they just kind of boiled it down to one thing after a while.
So you don't believe that you don't believe in this prison conspiracy theory?
I think what it is I believe it, but I don't think the people making it are as naive as we think they are. I like what he said about the Ice Cube's album.
Or like say a Public Enemy.
But they're saying that like in this like conspiracy, it's that they were in on it. These rappers knew exactly what they were doing.
That's what I think. I think the culture's created by the rappers.
Yeah. But that's what the conspiracy theory, theory goes along.
I thought it was record company.
It is working with those guys, but they knew exactly what was happening too, according to the conspiracy theory. I'm not saying this is right or I believe it. This is just what the conspiracy theory is.
But I think also with a lot of people where it's like we're talking about a conspiracy against the inner city, right?
Well, yeah, it would be. Yeah, that would be the target.
But it's like
Minol
said with like Ice Cube, they know what's going on. They know the hustle.
They always did, right?
They know the hustle. They know, they're not stupid people. They know the hustle.
But I'm not saying they're stupid people.
No, I don't mean stupid. I think
like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube are like brilliant businessmen.
No, I mean people that live in that kind of situation know the hustle.
Like the people who are in the inner city know the hustle.
They know the hustle because they live a hustle every day.
Do you think they're critical enough to think that maybe they're only being sold this by a company? Do you think that people are critical
all you got to do
enough
is look for patterns?
Yeah, but do you think they look for the patterns?
I think after a while you start seeing the patterns. I think you can see the pattern.
Like an average...
Maybe not all of them, but if you live in a situation where you have to hustle to make your money, or you got to fucking do whatever you can to make money, and your options are like A and B, you're going to realize in the music industry, it's the same fucking thing. The same thing as comedy, the same thing in you see the pattern.
So are we saying like the rappers see the patterns or the inner city kids see the patterns?
I think some guys know how to play the game differently than others, but I think everyone sees a pattern. And that's the thing about hip hop, is the pattern is everyone understands the pattern to a degree.
I just look at it like these inner city kids are living a hard life. They have to hustle to make money. then this rap music comes out that perpetuates that stereotype and sort of influences and validates it. And then they're like, wow, this is awesome. So they buy that album, and then it's validating their behavior.
Yeah, but it was validated before hip-hop, when there was pimps and hustlers on the street. That were the heroes before. It was before hip-hop even got there. That shit was going on.
But it wasn't towards non-inner city kids, right?
Yeah.
Where hip-hop was spread out towards white suburbia.
Now the problem is that's in suburbia. That's the problem.
But that's what they wanted, though.
They want it in suburbia.
They wanted it. They wanted the crime. They weren't discriminating against who would commit crimes and like perpetuate their private prisons.
Yeah. But that's just like doing the drug game. You're trying to get suburbia in it too.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Right. So the hustle's the same game.
Yeah.
So if you touch the game, if you even like you watch The Wire, they understand it on that level. It's got to be the same game.
I don't know.
Guns and liquor, right? Just if you got more liquor stores and guns are all over America anyways, it's shit's gonna happen.
What about luxury items too? Like I remember, maybe even 10 years ago, nobody carried around like Chanel bags or Louis Vuitton really, other than like old ladies. And then who was it that like started that just decided that it's something that 20-year-olds should carry? That's huge money.
Yeah.
There's a job, I think it's called trend setting, where people will they're hired by advertising and marketing agencies to go into like universities, and they locate somebody who has an alpha personality who's setting trends, and then they write down those trends, and then they manufacture them so that kids those ages are doing what that one person was doing.
Sure.
So it was probably something along that
Run
nature.
DMC was like apparently they got all their gear for the whole time from Adidas for
Not
free.
anymore.
But
Yeah, they got bumped off though, like in the last few years. But they did, yeah. They,
Lots of bands,
they wrote the song, Adidas. I think the hustle's more for suburban than inner city kids.
I think you're right on that.
I think the
I
hustle's-
totally think you're right.
Like look at Master P. These guys are like selling like gold albums, and they didn't have record contracts. They're selling them out of the trunk of their fucking car. Like they had gold albums. They're selling 100. What's gold? I don't know what gold is.
I have no idea.
Different in the States.
Yeah, like 200,000 copies. Like what the fuck? That's someone that understands the hustle, understands. The
But those neighborhoods that we're talking about, I think eventually too, it just becomes normal too, right? Rap or no rap, it's like it just becomes normal to think that I might get shot today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like death is just around the corner.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really corny and like, but like, yeah, you're right. It's like you don't have time to be a dreamer, I guess, or like fucking not know what's going on. Yeah. And if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know the hustle, you get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't survive in the hood.
Get like manipulated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never survive in the hood. I never. They see me weak instantly.
Did you ever want to like be?
When
like,
I was younger, when I was 19, I was lived in suburbia, and I was listening to hip hop. I was no younger than 19. I was like, yeah, that's what I want.
You want to be in the hustle?
Fuck so. Yeah, so badly. And I was watching Tupac shoot a gun. I'm like, I couldn't shoot a gun the first time without flinching. And then right there, you're a punk. Like, you're shooting an AK-47, you're like flinching and just like, you can't be tough. And you get beaten up.
I'd be horrible in a gang.
Yeah.
Like if they're like, yeah, here, have a gun. What am I supposed to do with this gun?
What are you supposed to do?
Like, I'm not going to shoot
You gotta
anybody.
shoot somebody.
I'd be like, fuck that.
In Death Row Records, they were fucking hiring the Bloods and the Crips to work in the same office. Just imagine working in that office. You're like fucking the Bloods and the Crips are working in the same office.
The water cooler conversations would be crazy. Did you hear got shanked last night?
Dab in their mouth
it.
with like a
Oh, is it?
red
I can't remember.
hanky.
Blue obnoxious suits everywhere.
Is that his
Red
last name?
obnoxious
Choo-choo,
suits.
right?
Just like fucking awkward lunch meetings. Just everyone sitting at a table just staring at each other.
All the Crips are walking weird everywhere.
Well, apparently like receptionists used to get beaten up and shit like that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know how much of that's true. Like how much of it's like propaganda.
It's probably a lot of
Yeah.
it. Probably most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything seems to be
Fake.
fake. Yeah.
You can't be in a gang and commit yourself to becoming a rapper. How is that possible?
You know what's funny that you say that? I was listening to like a playlist of like 80s and 90s rap the other day, and they're so hardcore. And then I thought about just the fact of them sitting in the booth going, "Well, that note's kind of odd, you know? Does this make me come off weird?" It's like I thought about like the show business aspect of it, where they're like doing vocal lessons and like stuff like that.
I don't know if they are. I don't know. I don't think like Old Dirty Bastard did vocal lessons. I think they took whatever they could get out of him.
Yeah, I think. I agree.
Well, Biggie used to go and Jay-Z goes right and lays down a track. Like they just go right in it. So maybe that happened a lot. Maybe
He did a lot of cash deals, I heard.
who
Biggie?
Biggie, yeah.
Like, it was just like, give me 10,000, I'll do whatever you want on your song, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have nothing else to do.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of that
That's
stuff.
pretty
Apparently. Yeah.
Snoop Dogg just I don't even know if I can talk about this. Never mind. Hold on.
Snoop Dogg recording the Snoop Lion.
No, he recorded at the studio and then
Yeah, I'd like to smoke a joint with him. That's
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Change his name now.
Snoop Lion.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, though. It's starting to get I don't know why.
Yeah.
Lion.
That's really good.
Thanks.
You should record that.
Rah, rah. I can't do it.
Rah, rah, rippy, roll, rippy.
I used to think that song was so awesome.
Turns into a lion now in the video.
Yeah.
That first album was the best one, still.
Yeah,
His
it's a good
first
album.
one.
Snoop Doggy style.
Yeah, with his cousin did the cartoon or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I had that tape. I still have that tape.
I used to smoke so much weed back then. I fucking must have left that fucking album.
I think the first time my mom came home and found me drunk,
Was that
she was
song?
like, I recited an entire like "When I Met You Last Night."
Oh, that's
baby.
big. That's a great song.
Yo, that. Yeah.
Warren G was it was him and Warren G on that.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was Warren G or Nate
It's
Dogg?
gave me
Warren
all
G.
pussy, and you even licked my balls.
Balls.
I like reenacted it and everything for my mom. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to bed.
I remember driving around. My
Yeah, that
friend's
fucking-
Jeep, and he had the the Jeep phone, but you couldn't call it. It was like $1 a minute. So he just,
So you just held it up?
Yeah, we would turn around it. Yeah,
That's a good time. That's a good
yeah, we
time.
were driving around the malls and.
Such a great CD. Track 11, I think that's like track 11.
You had it on CD. I had it on tape.
His Jeep phone. His
And my
pager.
friend's Jeep phone.
Paid me.
You had it on CD. You're richer than me.
I'm a white kid.
Yeah, we had tapes. I had tapes.
In the realm of conspiracy theories, Mace, you were telling me about Glenn Beck has a conspiracy with the Boston bombing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but he, I think it was Friday, he went on the radio and he said that he has proof that it's a conspiracy organized by the government, the Boston bombing, and that he was giving the U.S. government until Monday to admit it, or he would reveal his proof.
I love,
Who
that's
said
what I
this?
love.
Glenn Beck, who's
I love
already
Fox
in
News,
like a
and I love
goofball.
that kind of shit. I wish we had that in Canada. It's so
great.
fucking entertaining.
It is, yeah.
It'd be great if he was killed, though.
Sun TV.
That's the
Sun
thing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, Sun TV.
If it was
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just if it was a real conspiracy organized by the government and they really believed he had proof, they would just kill him in that time.
Exactly.
Is it like the government? Some government here.
But they didn't even have anything back.
Wait, so his proof would have been today?
his proof would have been today. I tried looking it up.
And he just didn't come out with it. Big shock.
No. He did. He said it had to do with someone who was a suspect in the bombing, which previously was a terror suspect, and the United States downgraded them to something that was like
Okay. Yeah, what happened with that was the FBI interviewed suspect number 1.
The older guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Breaking chairs. Yeah, the FBI interviewed suspect number 1, the older of the two brothers who died. But they leveled him as not a threat because I guess they didn't think that he was. I don't think it's
Well, yeah, like it does seem weird, but I don't know how valid. I read it on. I think the article I found was on Christian News, which is probably not that factual.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Christians know what's up.
Creationist.
But the article, what it said was, before that, years before, he was a terror suspect, but then they still gave him a student visa into the U.S. So
I believe that is true, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not.
I've actually heard that too. I'm pretty sure that
What's
it's
true? What's not true?
Well, let's not get into
Well,
it.
if you've heard it twice on the internet,
right now.
you looked at it. It was Christian
Yeah,
Mingle. You saw it on.
I saw it on
You
J-Date.
saw it on J-Date. That's it. It's true then.
How about the younger guy? When he was
brother?
Did you hear about that? When he was accepted as an American citizen?
I didn't know it. What
that date that was stamped on
9/11. Yeah.
September 11th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's
Wow.
a fact. I thought that was just hilarious.
That is
That's
actually.
crazy.
He would never forget.
I wonder if he saw the irony in it.
I don't think there's that much conspiracy to this. That's
I don't know. I think that if there was, we wouldn't know about it at all.
Yeah.
The one guy's alive. The boat kid is alive, right?
Boat kid is alive.
Boat kid.
They just imagine that's what you're labeled as. You do this tragedy, they call you boat kid. That's what the newspapers. Boat kid's still alive. And there's like some guy in like Thailand who lives on a boat. Boat kid.
He's in jail. Hey, boat kid, shine my shoes.
But I'm boat kid.
But see, I would really like to hear this boat kid talk eventually. And go like, what the fuck?
We're not gonna hear shit.
No, but why, dude? Really, why? It's so crazy. I know maybe there's not that it would justify anything, but
No, but it would be interesting to hear what he was saying. They're from Chechnya.
Chechnya.
Yeah.
So Chechnya, apparently, Stalin or Russia was like they exiled them, or they wouldn't give them freedom, like Ukraine or anyone. And they apparently did a lot of horrific shit with help from the United States. So it could be that.
I mean,
Chechnya's number one religion's Islam too, I guess.
Yeah.
how old
Islam's
old was the older one? 26?
26 or 7. Yeah.
Would you say that's still an age where you can be easily influenced?
I've never been 26 or 7, so.
But do you feel like, I don't know, like I'm asking a
remember.
question.
I'm playing devil's
feel like
advocate. If you believe something strong enough, it might not be influence. It might be something, that he believed. I don't know if his actions were right, but he...
I think it's safe to say they weren't.
No, they weren't right. No. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him. But I think that probably had something to do with it. The government involvement with Russia and Chechnya.
I just think like 20 or younger, like I can see how it would be easier to make someone think like, hey man, the government's fucking us, you need to do this.
No, but these aren't super kids either. Like the guy, they were at MIT, weren't they? No, am I wrong?
No, he wasn't at a prestigious university.
But one of them was like a doctor or going for something, weren't they?
Well, I know the one kid was in university, but it wasn't like Ivy League.
I thought they were.
Buddy, I was in college. Okay, 6 months, but I was in college.
I'm a little scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because he went to college?
Yeah, I'm scared.
It was
Scheming for all these years. Manolis.
Tonight I blow everybody up.
Scheming out of blackface and get into that time
to go
machine.
back.
I leave. Yeah, you never see me again.
I don't know.
So what do you guys think, though? Do you think there's any truth to this conspiracy theory or just any other conspiracy theory? Like, is there anything you buy into? Yeah, like, clearly there are conspiracies. But
I don't think this one had anything to do with the government.
Here's the thing. Life's just so comfortable for me and for all those around me. And as long as, like, my direct life isn't affected, really, like...
Is there a conspiracy? Do you need it? Do you even want to think about it?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? My Wi-Fi didn't even go down. It was just,
I think everyone's getting fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but we're all getting fucked.
I don't want to, like, do anything about it.
Yeah, it's just different degrees of the fucking...
my comfortable life.
Exactly. We're being comfortably fucked.
I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Or to get out of my bed and...
what were you going to say, Jordan?
Just the research I've had to do with like papers and stuff gives me a very hard time in believing conspiracy theories because like in like Canadian university you're very like forced to know something's factual and to research the facts behind it. Not only check that original source but check their sources And it's like a very tedious thing. And when you go on like some shitty website with sans serif font, and you're like, dude, are you serious? You're just linking that together and you have no factual evidence.
Yeah.
That makes me very skeptical and I'm very critical, and it's very hard for me to accept or believe pretty much any conspiracy theory.
That makes sense.
I agree. And like nowadays, you can find information to back up any opinion that you want to online, anyways.
Yeah.
But regardless of whether the ones that we're hearing about are true, don't you think that there must be a lot of things going on?
Okay, like that 9/11 is an inside job. What if it was? The fuck do you want me to do about it? Like, honestly, what am I supposed to do about it?
Wrong attitude.
It was an inside job. Well, there we go.
Well, to me, I think what's important about that, if it is true, is not about doing anything about that case, but just realizing that the government has the power to do that.
Yeah, but I know that if it
to.
was an inside or not, I already know that.
Yeah. I just think that's the
I just don't
important
need to
thing.
be scared more.
I wouldn't say you are, though.
The saying that stuck out with me like a lot. In high school, my teacher said to me, we were talking about conspiracy theories, and he said, take Fox News and take Michael Moore and cut the line in the middle, and that's probably the truth.
Yeah.
So it's like both sides are trying to sway you, like, and it's like that's what conspiracy theories are. They're swaying you on the smallest facts, and I honestly believe that. I mean, something might look like a conspiracy theory, and I can see where they got the fact that it looks like one, but honestly, I think they both lie, and I think the truth is somewhere in between.
When you hear about the Tower 7, how no matter what's like, how the fuck did that go down? You're like, you have that moment like, okay, that's not good.
Yeah, but
No one's gonna give you the answer, but you know that's not good, man.
But if I'm like a family member and my fucking family died, do I want to know that the fucking government murdered them or not? I don't know.
I think you would.
Not me.
I'm bored, man.
I can't bring them back. I can't bring them back. And I can't do anything about the fucking government murdering my kids. So I just go, yeah.
But I mean, like, if you came home and your wife was just stabbed to death, wouldn't you be like, wouldn't you want to know who did it? If you, the whole government.
Yeah.
Like, I think you would want to know. I don't think you would be able to be
different.
True, but it's still someone close to you dying.
No one gave me an answer.
And by the way, I'm not saying that the government did do 9/11.
But what I'm saying is I don't need the dude with fucking...
I've read your website.
I don't need Alex Jones telling me who murdered my wife when they gave me an answer who murdered my wife.
I mean, Alex Jones is pure fact.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But see, I agree with you that everyone, like all of them, are trying to sway your opinion in one way or the other. I just think the question to me is like, so then what do? Do you just ignore everything and just live your life, which might be the right answer? I don't know.
You can see when they're lying to you all the time, like you said.
Yeah.
When everything's one-sided, like you just know when you're being lied to. All you gotta do is sit back and enjoy the ride.
There's another statement that I got from a university prof who said, when a theory has all the...
get it, you're educated.
No,
when some of us didn't finish high school. You're smarter than
Yeah, well, the guy at Tim Hortons around the corner, he's got some ideas too.
Gus, I love that guy.
No, but
Ice Cube said,
yeah,
"Put your back
Do
into
it.
it."
That's actually what my prof said too.
Put your back into it.
No, but when a theory has all of the answers, it's usually like you have to be very skeptical on it.
Yeah.
Whenever someone has anybody has all the
Yeah.
answers. And when I talk to someone, I'm like, oh, you're full of shit. I just wait for the lie. When it's too good, I just wait for that fucking lie when I talk to people.
Well, it's good to know.
Too good to be true. It's usually too good to be true.
This is why I can hang out with you guys, because I haven't heard any lie. I haven't heard the lie from you guys.
No, but it's like
you guys are like, you're being honest. You know when you're just talking to someone, you're like, yeah, there it is. It's just too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's just too, yeah. My dad always says, nothing's for free. There's always a reason for shit. There's always there's always a price for everything. So they're just gonna looking for the price, right? What they want from you.
Yeah, always. Even like back to the obsession with tragedy. It's interesting to me that like people can take these tragedies and when you watch them on talk shows, they always have an agenda.
Yeah.
It's never just like, that was a sad tragedy, we should probably mourn that. It's always like, it's the goddamn Republicans.
Yeah. Plus,
Their own shit.
that's a whole condition where when people feel like either really stressed out or very that like they don't have control over their own lives, they try to seek patterns and meaning in things that they can't control. So in tragedies, a lot of the conspiracies I think are part of going like, the idea that this just happened is too much for me to accept. I have to pretend that it was constructed by somebody.
Yeah.
So that's like a coping method?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, I just want to know, like, what do you guys think there's any point then in even, like, listening to any news?
I think it's good to know whether someone's full of shit or not. That's where it comes down to. It's like, okay, whether it's American government or another government, there was like, okay, the planes hit the fucking towers and they go down. Obviously, it's too clean. But then that other tower goes down. Okay, there's more than this. You know what I mean? There's more going on. Okay, that's good. At least I know.
Yeah.
The size of the cock that's going in my ass. You know?
But just all information, any like history that you get, anything. Like you have to.
For sure. There's no source that you can take as like, oh, that's the account of what is true.
I think our news has become propaganda. Well, American news. I think Canadian news were good. British news is good. I think ours is our propaganda. I think American is...
Old guy Boston, remind me.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't think Canadian news is that great.
It's better than American.
I agree with you, but I think there's a lot of topics that we're scared to cover as journalists.
I agree.
And I think that's the problem with our news. But yeah, I agree with you.
I think news has become propaganda. I think people are paid. Everyone's trying to make money.
Definitely.
And that's the thing, though. How do you find out? Like, should you just then try to absorb all of it and then just make up your own? Like, obviously, you should make up your own mind anyways.
It's got to be publicly funded news.
Yeah.
That's the one you trust because publicly funded, they have no agenda.
Well, now it's interesting, too, like when you have something like Twitter where, if you're reading the feeds in Boston, they had to say, like, nobody tweet any of what you're hearing on the scanners, right? Because they don't want the information released, right? Yeah. But you can. People can have scanners wherever they are. They can have take photos, like...
Just in case Boat Boy was checking his Twitter in there.
You guys know what's going on with Iraq? What's going on with Afghanistan? Like, what's really going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan would know.
No, here's the thing. Now, just talking about like loved ones, and if your loved one was one of the victims or whatever, like, can you sue or can you put some kind of hold that you don't have to constantly watch like your dad jumping out of one of the towers?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
And can you like even the what's it called? The West Memphis 3? Is that what the guys that were like the 3 guys that were framed from the murders? And it was like the murders of the 3 little boys. Yeah. And then the guys were anyway. There's I think at least 3 or 4 documentaries made on it. Yeah. But like each documentary is just constant pictures, and it's just like really graphic photos of these children, right? And I understand people want to get to the bottom of it and find the killers and everything, but is that like why is that allowed? Why like and you wouldn't even know? Like what if that was like now that 8-year-old in Boston? Like you don't even know if you can like look at anything, and.
And they're not solving a problem. They're adding more muddle to the whole thing.
Just like here's
adding
something
more
else.
shit to the shit. No one's solving problems. They're just... That's the whole thing with conspiracy. They're not solving the fucking 9/11 problem. They're just adding more questions to it.
It almost seems like like an endless loop. You know, it's like once you start getting into conspiracy theories and researching them, it's like, well, that might be wrong. Let me read this.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it almost seems like it feels like that if you try to get like involved in any conspiracy theory.
But involved how? You're still gonna like wake up and drink your coffee and like sit in your bed and involved. What do you want to do? Go on the internet and look at that website more than like a different website.
That's what my generation considers involved.
Yeah, I guess. So I'm gonna comment about that. Like,
after OJ, I was done with it. I couldn't even watch this shit. I was like, I couldn't watch the Boston stuff. I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think that's a good point about how, like, basically, even if you are choosing to investigate these things on your own time, you're just doing the same thing as the person that ignores it and lives their life. You're just doing what you enjoy. Yeah, well, you're just getting something out of it.
Yeah,
you're not helping anyone.
You're informed enough, and it appeases you.
Which I don't think is bad either if you enjoy it. No, that's all it is, entertainment.
It comes back to trying to solve a mystery even. Everybody wants to try to figure out what the
puzzle.
But how can you solve it if you don't even know what the mystery is?
Everybody wants to be cool, I think. They want to be on the inside, the ground level of some bullshit.
I have a
man in Boston.
Their lives anyway.
With this, the one thing, and they do this all the time, what bothers me is like as fast as they can, they try to find a feel-good story. Like that old... I saw this in my mind, is the old guy falls down and he gets back up, and the news ends up talking about it like a little bit later. It's like so and so was like, and he got back up and he finished the race. Oh, so okay. So he oh, at least he finished the race. Who cares? A bunch of people died. Well, Frank finished though. Everything's cool, guys. Frank he was running for his fucking life. He wasn't finishing he was going that way.
Back up.
He was 10 feet away. He thought, I heard a second bomb behind him. I gotta get the fuck out of here. But he got back up. The terrorists don't win. Yeah, I'm so disgusted. It's like, don't try and make so at least one good thing happened. I don't want to think, at least one good thing happened.
Everything they try to personalize everything, right?
Yeah, they fucking. I was watching them with the guy in the boat. It's like fucking 2 hours of. Oh, what else is he doing? Like, it was just a whole bunch of stalling. It's exactly what they have to get as much shit. So when they get to the moment where the boat's happening,
they're making the movie.
They gotta fucking. So let's recap what we're looking at again. He's in the boat. He's been there.
Dying in the boat.
It's like, are you fucking serious? Just tell me when he dies.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And I think another interesting thing about that was the news was I was listening to the police scanner. And I was watching the news at the same time, and the news was actually way behind everyone else on Twitter, which I think is going to be the future of how news is broadcasted.
Sad.
But I think I don't think it's that sad. I think it's
awesome. You can
awesome.
actually get people that are around witnessing it, and then you can hear all the different accounts from people, all the people's opinions.
Has that ever gone really well?
It's new. I don't know.
It's like a new form. It's like
standing in the crowd watching what's happening.
I'd rather take that account.
But the thing is, it's like you were
Fox
getting
News.
Yeah, and you were getting fresh updates on the second.
Hang on a second. Your option's Twitter.
Fox News. Yep.
I'd go Twitter.
Dude, I'd rather a professional
than
person
Fox.
who's been trained to do the job report and analyze
don't have
all the
to-
jobs.
But then how
But
do you
if
even
you
trust
hear-
that opinion?
Yeah.
And
If that
you were
is-
just
How
saying-
am I supposed to trust Twitter when it's
No,
just
I agree.
a whole bunch
That's
of
why you
people
don't. You just-
blah 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 blah
No,
blah.
but the thing that was happening on Twitter was that people were listening to the police scanner, and then they were tweeting out exactly what they were saying on the police scanner. So you could hear, I was listening to the police scanner, I'd update my Twitter feed and see, they'd say, okay, they're coming around the corner, and they would say that on the police scanner. People would tweet that right away. And then people are saying, oh, don't...
So crazy.
It was awesome, and people are like, oh, don't tweet that stuff. And then, you'd see 20 minutes later, the news would tweet the same thing. It's okay for them to do it, but not for regular people to do it. Why? Because they're interfering with the news industry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because they're beating the news industry.
Yeah.
That's the only reason people are spreading
They
that.
don't want to
Don't say things on Twitter. It's like that scanner was open to everybody.
And plus the news, it's not like they're getting a bunch of facts. They're not taking the time to fact check. They're just saying well, I'm not, I'm not an expert, but let's
not
do a bunch of stuff to.
I agree
sound
with
an
you,
expert.
but let's say the same thing about Twitter. It's not going to be a whole bunch of fact checking either.
Oh no, not at all.
No, not at all,
But you can get so much of it. It's.
Yeah, but you're comparing Twitter to Fox News. I mean,
That's what they're doing.
no, but I'm saying I would still listen to Twitter.
If
than
you
Fox
want
News.
statistics, I would rather have
If Fox News wouldn't report
100
this.
people reporting on something that they're all visually or living the moment. I'd rather hear 100 people collectively telling me one opinion than hear.
I hear what you're saying, but I think either one you can't really trust.
Yeah, but who has the agenda? I'm saying Fox. Everybody knows
I agree
Fox
with you.
News. Fox
Yeah,
News has an
but
agenda.
nobody had an agenda reporting this. Everyone reported the same fucking way.
People on
Right.
Twitter have an agenda. They want more followers and they want people to think that they have the latest scoop, right? So yeah, of course everyone has an agenda, what you were saying before.
Yeah, but they're trying to use truth for their
well,
agenda,
it's their
right?
truth, right? It
Well,
doesn't matter.
if the guy really did hear this on the scanner and he's telling everybody he's dealing with.
Say Twitter could have a broken telephone.
For sure. He could be someone could say I just heard a gunshot and it was a garbage truck or whatever, right? I heard a gunshot. Oh my god, retweet gunshot, right? It doesn't.
I think when we're reporting something like this, I don't think Fox has an agenda.
The problem is the New York Post posted
No, you're right.
factual things.
Yeah.
It's like
Because they were trying to jump on it right away.
yeah, but I mean just the people tweeting the things that they were hearing on the police scanner.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a positive thing.
But I mean, what you're saying is okay. In this instance, it was good.
Yeah.
In other instances, it's going to be just like the New York Post.
I agree, and I think that's kind of the glory in it that it's just a collective. You can't take it as
Sad.
You can't take it as objective news. you have to know that reading your Twitter, that you cannot take that as objective news because it's not professional broadcasting.
Yeah, but then now you're asking a whole bunch of people to not take it as objective news.
I'm telling you, everybody who's looking on Twitter, don't take that as objective news because it's not at all.
I agree with you, but now you're expecting people. So you're saying it's better than news.
I didn't say it was better than news. I said it's the future of how we perceive news. I'm not saying one or the other is better. The problem is news is supposed to be objective. They're not supposed to have an agenda. Like you said, news.
No, but
like these industries in America all have various agendas, and you can clearly see what they are. I don't see the difference between somebody tweeting some facts that they got off a police scanner and Fox News doing it 20 minutes later.
yeah, in that instance it's good. But the one about instance when Spike Lee tweets that fucking person's address.
Oh, that's a great fuck up.
I don't know what that.
That's what happened with the shooting in the Florida, the Trayvon. And he tweeted the wrong address.
Yeah. And then, I bet you
What happened with that is like that kind of shit happened.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't take it as objective news. Take it as individual people commenting on a tragedy.
But I think
but now you're getting to semantics.
No, I'm not getting into semantics at all. What I'm saying is take Twitter as people commenting on a tragedy, and you can see the tragedy in real time. Take Fox News as they are a biased news source. They're definitely leaning towards the conservative values, but take it as a news source. Take Twitter. You can't take Twitter as a news source. I never said that. I'm saying take Twitter as people commenting on a tragedy in real time.
But what you're saying
that's the line in the middle between Michael Moore and...
There you go.
But then now you're saying that's the future of news.
Yeah, I believe real time is going to be the future.
That's the future. That's going to be like Big Brother shit. But that's how we're going to start policing each other.
I'm not saying that's not how we're going to start policing each other. Like, it very well could be. I'm not 100% sure.
The fact that everyone has agendas, I think, is probably why, Twitter, even though it's not factual, would probably be better because you can see when different people are tweeting and they all have their own agendas and they're all lying a little bit, maybe, you can see the contradiction. Whereas if you're just taking one source, you only get their agenda.
Great point.
Yeah.
That's a good... I agree with you, but I'm just saying I also disagree.
That's you. That's so you.
I just think
that's your agenda to go, guys.
That's my agenda.
No, I want to hear why you disagree.
Is Big Brother like you're saying Twitter itself?
And then
or it's just
the whole social media aspect is just that's how we're going to control ourselves.
But when you say a show
that's how we're going to become fucking 1984.
Well, that's why people aren't going to get jobs in the future. Everybody, you can find out everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's
someone,
it's very dangerous. And so if we can comment on real time for anything,
if you're a technological pessimist, it's a bad thing. But there's technology is a neutral thing. You shouldn't be. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just what it is. It is our reality that we've created for ourselves.
I'm not against it. I'm just saying this is where we're heading to.
Old man Gavin.
It's old man Gavin, but we're doing that. We're already doing that, right?
Yeah,
we're already doing that. We're already trying to control everybody.
What about
everyone has an opinion?
What about someone like Jon Stewart? I would say that his agenda.
Yeah, I agree with him.
I would say his agenda is to have no agenda.
Yeah, because he doesn't give
he probably is more an Obama guy, but he fucking puts him. He'll point out all his flaws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, and he also will openly tell people that he's not an objective news source and not to take him seriously.
Yeah, but come on, and he's right. I know what he's saying, but you do get better news from Jon Stewart, right?
Better isn't how more entertaining. Yeah.
Well, it's more it's more facts. It's showing his whole thing is to point out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the show. Look at this. Watch this bullshit. Watch this bullshit. Watch this bullshit.
Look at
this. Watch this guy contradict himself and again and again and again.
It's brilliant.
No, I'm not against technology. I'm just saying it's a slippery slope.
But you just don't like the idea of Twitter because it's I
didn't say I don't like the idea of Twitter.
No,
I also like that. But I also see how when this becomes the source, at least with news, it was okay, there's somebody else controlling what we see and everything. I get that, and that's not good either. But it's everyone now has an agenda, and everything's personal, and everyone thinks they're important.
Mm-hmm. So everyone always did. It's just now they have a platform.
Yeah, they have a platform where they can tell fucking 25,000 people, and then that person gets fired from a job because they said some stupid joke in the corner of a room. to their friend or whatever, and someone said, "Oh, that's homophobic."
But now, on the other hand, it can turn around and there's evidence to like help people, right? Someone gets fired from a he said, she said, and then it turns around and there's actually like witnesses come out or whatever, right? Like it can help too.
But the problem with that, I agree, is like they are like those people who are making those comments on Twitter. They're using that, they know the implications of if they say something homophobic on Twitter that 25,000 people are going to see it. They're using the technology irresponsibly. They know what's going to happen.
Irresponsible, or just are they just being? They're just dumb.
They might just be dumb.
I mean, like
No,
I mean like someone like that guy we were talking about before at that convention. He said some stupid joke to his friend. It wasn't really sexist. He was just making a joke about
taking the picture of the girl,
and the girl took a picture and he got fired from his job.
She got fired too.
Yeah, she got fired too. But like where does that end? Like I get on Twitter, you say something, people lock you up or whatever, or kick you off or whatever. But no, that scares me.
But it might help people too.
Help them do what?
Isn't like evidence to like help their cause too.
I don't understand.
So like Twitter has the evidence like locked in. Say you made a joke about like being homophobic or something. Somebody takes it the wrong way and then reports it to your boss. The boss sees it and goes, well, that joke wasn't really that homophobic.
Like the fact that she got fired. Okay, so if she just said it without the video and she just said, he said this, I'm offended, he gets fired, she wouldn't have got fired. But the fact that she did that, like...
Why couldn't she turn around and go, hey guys, I don't appreciate those jokes, can you stop?
I have no idea the whole context.
I don't even know the...
She was in a convention.
Who's this she? Who is this person?
Chick, I don't know her name.
Okay.
She's in a convention.
Chick.
She was
sitting in
Some
front.
broad.
Pardon?
Cosplay, right?
No, it wasn't cosplay. It was a programming convention. I forget the name of it.
So what happened?
She was sitting in front. These two guys were in the back. They said some word, and it was just like they...
boobs or something. It was like bazoom.
No, it wasn't. It was like download, and they made some joke where about a penis with the word. So it was just like a.
Okay,
it wasn't even.
I heard something
and
about
she
this.
tweeted the photo of these guys are being sexist and stuff like that, and the guy got fired, and she got fired. What happened to just turning around and going, "Hey, can you stop?" But she has power because she has so many people following her. So she feels her word has. She has a right to police people. So what happens when we get to that stage when everyone has a right to police people and it's like, and it gets power.
Not everyone would do that. Not everyone would do that.
A lot of people
would turn around and say, "Hey, don't say."
We know people are doing it all the time. We know people trying to get into Just for Laughs by getting other people to tweet that they belong in Just for Laughs.
Yeah,
But
that's
how
a
often is
scam.
that going to work though? Like how it doesn't work.
But you guys, I'm not saying that it works. I'm saying it's that power of you can share it to your friends instantly on your thing and go, oh, this guy is a fucking dirtbag because he did A, B, and C, and the guy's already guilty and he hasn't done anything.
So is that power a bad thing?
It's good and
But
bad.
it can also be a good thing though too, because then other people can come and verify that person isn't.
Maybe she did feel like the guy was being really sexist.
When I'm talking to you and me having a conversation, she has nothing to do with it. Do you know what I mean? If I'm sitting here going, blah, blah, blah,
What do you
blah,
mean? If I have to listen to it?
You don't. You can sit in front of you and go, hey, can you stop it? Or can you walk
Yeah,
away?
but you should at least try to. If I'm going to say something, I know when I'm going to say something that other people shouldn't hear. I'm going to say it into your ear.
That's how they were
You
talking.
know what I mean? If I'm going to see a chick with nice tits, I'm going to go, hey, check out that girl's tits. They're fucking
No, it wasn't like
awesome.
that. It
No,
wasn't
but I'm
like
trying
that.
to use. I'm making an example. I would go, hey, check out this girl's tits.
Yeah.
I would just like, look, right? Because I don't want the girl with the huge fucking
No, it
jugs
wasn't
to
even
go,
that.
what the
It was
fuck
like a
is-"
word, and then it was like they added like
It was
it was
like
something.
it's like an example
It
of
was a
like
silly
someone
word.
I'm gonna get you a coffee. I'll get you a coffee. It's like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to do if you're gonna
What's
fucking call me sexist?
It wasn't. I'll get you, but that's not one.
But it was basically on that level of
How do you know though?
because I heard the joke. I forget what the joke was exactly, but I read the joke.
But you weren't there again, and who knows? I don't think it's right. I mean, the fact that they both got fired, though, is what I'm saying is that if it wasn't recorded, and if she didn't do it that way, and just went to, like, her, whatever, HR,
Yeah.
and then they would have just got fired, she wouldn't have got fired.
Why couldn't she just turn around and say, "Hey, I don't appreciate the joke"? At least approach them.
Because
Like,
she's a woman,
No.
Gavin, and that's what women do. They're like, blah, 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 blah.
You fired.
but why couldn't you? Why couldn't you
On
just
this
turn around?
podcast, so that's it. I heard
I don't appreciate that joke. I
But
took it
what
literally.
if someone did do that shit, and then all of a sudden your fucking face is all over the... Like when you ever see people get accused for pedophilia, and it turns out they didn't do it, the fucking person's
already
job
out there.
is done.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah,
I was
it's
in
like,
already
grade.
it's over.
I was in grade 12, family studies, and
Yeah.
it was they showed a film, and it was like a woman and a man married, and they were married in a film. They were married, a woman and a man. They were married. They were showing the problem. They're having a problem in their marriage.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 guys and all girls in this class, by the way, right? And they were like they're trying to. The lesson was like, what's the problem? Why are they fighting? How do we solve the problem? And it was like the woman's like saying, did you do this? Did you take out the garbage? Did you do this? Did you get this done? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it later. So it was like, he's not listening. He's not communicating. The problem was he was not communicating with his wife. He's just ignoring her and just fucking whatever, right? Being a guy, basically.
Yeah.
And that was the real thing. And it's like, does anybody know what the problem here is? And I just did this because I knew it was going to be funny. I go, you know what the problem is, man? Or I go, the problem is the woman's nagging the husband too much. And I go like this, I swear to God, I do this. This is like being young and dumb too. And I go, nag, like that. And I do that, like that puppet.
And gesture?
Like with my, and like sit down with my friend. Because I did it because I just thought it was going to be funny. Like and then my buddy, I remember my buddy was sitting right here beside me, and I see him go like this. He put his head down like this because he knew he was trying to not to laugh.
Yeah.
And this one girl's like puts her hand up. It's like I don't have an answer, miss. And she goes, I got something for you, Manolis. And she fucking ragged me out for 5 minutes
hilarious.
about how much of an idiot.
Well, she was yelling at you. You should have sat there like...
Yeah, I should have just kept it again.
And point.
Anyways, so after that happens, I end up having to leave the class not because the teacher was mad at me, it was because I couldn't stop laughing. I was convulsing. One of the happiest days of my life, I swear to God.
Well, isn't that what, like, not Manolis' story, but isn't that the Crucible? Like, everyone, like, the fucking chick gets power, and so she accuses a dude who she's having an affair that won't leave her husband, that his wife is a witch. Mm-hmm. Isn't that the same basic idea? Once everyone gets that kind of power?
Are they a witch?
No, well, you can fucking... But there was a huge trial, right? Mm-hmm. And they were going to kill this woman based on the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I definitely see where you're coming from.
Maybe I'm going way too far on this. I don't know.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I agree with you. And it's like, it's just a confusing topic because I think people do get a lot of power from having Twitter followers. But I think...
So it's like cocaine, though. It's just fake confidence, man.
Yeah.
But if people actually,
talking about.
But if people actually read it, right? If someone has 25,000 followers, but if they are also following 25,000 or whatever, and who's even reading all that? That's just nothing.
White noise.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I think it's a matter of using your 25,000 followers responsibly.
I agree with you.
And getting rid of that fact of like, oh, this guy said a comment that I didn't. But and then another side of it is, yeah, she got fired. But another side of it is, Twitter and Facebook are allowing people to get their inputs out, which are contributing to a more democratic society than we live in now. Because people are allowed, like, people's opinions are being voiced more than ever, which is contributing to a global conversation, which is...
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that
really
people
doing
listen less?
Well, that's the problem. The
To
opinions,
democracy.
I think, are so much less informed
Exactly.
for the most part. Not to say that it's not fair. Like, they should have their say, but I just think...
I just don't understand. They are less informed, for sure.
I would say that they probably are. Like, I can't say for sure.
Things are more personal now.
I just think people
Way
are
more
actually
personal.
more educated and informed than ever, and I totally agree with you that things that you don't think
I think
so.
people would
Well,
seem
it's
more
like-
personal.
It's like if you say something like if you
yeah.
gonna get in a fight with some guy, or it's like, and like, you know, what'd you say to me, you fucking faggot?
Yeah.
When I say that, this is my other way of just being like, you're a fucking dick. It has nothing to do with gay people. Mm-hmm. And then you could always go, oh, you said something wrong with gay. Like the only person I won't call a faggot to is the gay person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It has nothing. But it's like that's almost like like when it's like, oh, you shouldn't say something like, oh, hey man, you're trying to take away from the fact that you're a fucking asshole right now, and I want to kill you. Let's not pretend like about, well, what do you really mean by that? Mm-hmm. Sometimes someone's just a dick.
But that's what I mean is like,
What are you talking about?
What's this like this chick? It's like the chick.
I'm always lost.
What?
I'm always lost with you. What's going on?
No, like
is this the road? Is this the third road here?
No, like this chick's like it doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't like she shouldn't got it. Who cares? She fucking. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have tweeted that. Well, it's bullshit anyways. It's Twitter. It's
no,
fucking,
they didn't tweet anything. They were having a conversation with each other.
No, but what did she do? She
tweeted the conversation.
And she took a photo of them.
Yeah.
And said, these are the guys that said this.
Okay, and
it got them fired.
Yeah.
And everybody got fired.
Yeah, she got fired.
Yep.
And she shouldn't have got fired.
No, she shouldn't have gotten fired either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But neither of them. But
it looks bad on the company. Right? It looks bad on who they're representing.
But that's what I'm saying. Is
you
like
do the job that you represent someone,
you
and
take
then
them both in a room. You go, you guys are both being fucking dicks.
Why are we children? How come we can't deal with our own fucking problem in the goddamn moment?
But that's because everybody's seeing it and it makes them look bad, right? Like if you're working in a warehouse and someone says something to you, in the heat of the moment you get mad and you say something back, and it gets all nasty and everything, right? Like if there's not witnesses and it's just two people. Yeah. Human resources aren't even going to get involved. They're going to say, like, deal with it with each other, right? But, like, if there's witnesses, then all of a sudden you've offended other people who aren't even involved, who might not even have anything to do with it. You've offended the masses. And if it represents the company in any way and it can lose their business somehow, then they'll just get rid of it.
Well, this is my problem, is that it only jumped to that escalation because she thought she was so fucking important.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it jumped to that.
But in the heat of the moment, who even knows all the whole story?
Because she built up a following
but maybe she hates these guys. Maybe who knows the whole story, right? Obviously, she's not friends with these guys that she works with. Who knows the whole relationship in that job, right? Like who even knows all that? But that's what I'm saying. And then when you spew it out, it makes whoever, I can't remember who they're working for, but it makes them look bad. So they're just going to say, I'm going to wipe my hands on all this. This is bad media. Yeah. This is media now.
But why should she not be allowed to say it? Why should she not be allowed to make that?
Well, he's just arguing that it's not an offensive thing.
No, I'm not arguing what they said is offensive.
You said it's none of her business, but she overheard it.
None of her business. And if you have a problem, say it to the person.
Well, that's
Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying that it shouldn't be allowed, like Twitter should be banned or something, just that it's not a smart move.
No, but I'm asking why it's not a smart move.
Because you're making it public before you're even trying to work it out.
Yeah.
So they didn't say anything to her?
No, they said it to each other.
They said it to each other.
Yeah, she overheard it.
Tweeted a picture of them.
Yeah.
She wrote, this is what they just said. Like that she's offended, whatever the fake word is. And then she said, here's a picture of the guys.
And it's just a lot of power.
I agree with you. And I think she definitely seems like she's trying to gain power. But the problem with an equal society, moving towards an equal society and being more equal, an effect of that is that we have to be more politically correct to everybody. That's a point of an equal society, is that we have to be more politically correct. So knowing that we live in a more equal society, you have to make the concerted effort to be more politically correct.
Equal.
You don't want everyone to be equal?
We'll never move forward.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know.
You need rich people, you need poor people.
I think we'll always have that.
Right, so they're not equal.
You need white people, you need non.
But you need a class system. As shitty as it is.
No, I don't know if you need it,
but I
mean,
bet it is a reality. Like, I don't think it'll ever go away.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it did, we'd be in, communism? But, I mean, and I believe in that, but I'm talking about more so from the aspect of, gender and race.
Gender and race. Yeah, I guess so.
Because I believe in hegemony, too. I think it does. And I mean, people who are propelled in poverty, they're gonna strive harder. It's going to motivate them, and they're going to work harder to be better citizens and work harder, and that's going to perpetuate the economy. But I was just referring to gender and race. I believe that we should completely be equal in gender and race.
Yeah.
In everything?
What,
you just need other things to judge someone on. Other than
But that's the thing, is that eventually it's just going to be everything's going to be a problem.
But it's not even gender and race. It's appearance too, right? Then you're not judging anybody by the size of their titties, and when's that going to happen?
I like big tits though.
See, when's that going to happen?
No, in everything. I want that.
I'm trying to think of it. I'm just trying to think of at what point do we go? Okay, not that we should roll over because people have been through shit, but at what point do we go? All right, this was bad. What happened to us, and this is okay. We need to move forward. And I don't know. I could be talking shit, but I just mean at what point do we go? I don't know.
You know what? Too. Okay, so there's there's a couple people that have lots of Twitter followers too, and they started to use it as in like, hey, big airline, you lost my luggage. I'm going to give you bad media press if you don't find it right away.
Yeah.
And they use it that way. Or, hey, restaurant, you didn't let my friend come in because she had a baby, and you didn't want that in the restaurant. Like, how can you turn someone down with a baby, whatever, that's... And...
But why can't they?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
So I'm just wondering what your opinion is on that. So, but the thing is that now these people have more followers than anybody else, right? So yeah, they could be speaking for their everyman, but they're also speaking for their own personal agendas, right? They're not talking about every single person that got like, because everyone gets shit on by an airline at one point in their lives if you're traveling a lot, or everyone's had something bad happen to them in a restaurant, you know, or something like that they would like to like stick it to a restaurant or some sort of like business, right? So like, does those people, because they've earned the trust of other followers because they're funny or whatever, right? And then to like switch it all of a sudden and say like, hey, you know, I got all these people, I got this army backing me up. So now you gotta find my luggage faster than anybody else. Like, I'm just wondering,
saying is that a bad thing? Or
I'm just wondering what your opinion on that is. Because if you're saying like this woman had 25,000 followers,
I don't know
she
exactly.
felt like that she had this like power that she could say that, and I guess she did enough for them to say like, hey, that got out too fast about our workers. Let's fire everybody.
What's this? I think it comes right down to is I think everybody thinks they're way more important than they are. With Twitter or not Twitter.
But
but there are
going to
be people
are more important than what they are.
There's going to be people that are more important.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, there will be.
I think people the most important person in the world is not important.
Oh, to us, yes.
To anybody. That's all. No one's that important.
Now, if I'm a company and this person has like 300,000 followers, he's important to me.
Not to me.
But that's the good thing about Twitter, though, because at least it puts the potential to have that power in everybody's hands.
Yeah, but that's just another system. It's just
You're right, but power still exists with or without Twitter. So at least this is something that you can try to accumulate your own power with. You know what I mean?
It's the same system.
Well, but isn't it more what's the word?
Has power?
Accessible?
1% on Twitter? Like, who really has power on Twitter?
Not a lot of people,
right?
But you could still try to get it. It's a source of power.
So do the same thing I'm doing in life
right now. Right now, it's more attainable for the everyman.
But it's the same thing I'm doing in life. It's like not many people have that power. The ones that do are celebrities, are certified mainly, and they're sponsored by some fucking company or something. And the rest of us have to fight to get there. A lot of them are, most of them are, and most of us have to fight to get there.
Well, like that girl, who was she famous at all?
She's built up a name as a feminist. I guess a feminist.
What's her Twitter handle? Chatty Patty.
Chatty Patty. Chatty Patty 2000.
Nag Nelly.
Flappy Guns McGee.
Like, not that she didn't have an issue. She should have an issue for whatever like bothers her. But
This is.
Damn.
I know what I'm trying to say is
This is.
if you know, it's like when you want to send an email to someone that you're mad at, right? You say, your friend will say, hey, wait 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you feel the same way,
Exactly.
like, I think that's what this could have been. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I
Like you
agree.
get really angry and then you just spew it out. That's what I mean. If it was just it was in an office and there's no witnesses and then you just start going at each other, they wouldn't be fired.
The joke is, the same shit's gonna happen. You're just not gonna hear it. You're not gonna be. You're gonna get a certain. That woman's gonna get a certain. People are gonna approach her a certain way and not say anything around her and not treat her. Just treat her like person I work with. And everyone's gonna act the same way behind her
done.
back. Right.
Like all the people she works with, if she didn't lose
I'm
her
sure she
job,
doesn't care.
or no matter what job she gets, well, maybe she doesn't care. But now everybody's like, "Oh, that's a girl you don't say anything in front of."
Yeah.
And you can't drag your hurt feelings everywhere you go. You just can't drag it into every fucking conversation or every fucking situation.
No one's saying that. Maybe she just didn't want to listen to it anymore. Maybe she's had back problems. Like this is the thing. This is one case now. Like who knows what's going to come out in Twitter in the future?
Yeah,
She shouldn't have lost her job, though.
Well, why not? She can't do that.
Well, I think
She can't take a picture of her coworkers and put it on like that.
I didn't think they were
No, but
coworkers.
I think they
were
both-
at the same convention.
What?
I don't think they work for the same company.
I'm just saying, all the parties
No,
should
they
be
just happen to
talked.
be sitting in the same area.
All the parties should have been pulled aside and talked to like children. And
But at this point, it's already out. It's so out. It's so everywhere, right? Like it's.
Yeah, the convention didn't get a lot of women. This was the first time they were getting more women, and so I don't know.
But see, there's a whole lot more.
Yeah, you're right. We're not there, so we don't know. I just think, like,
I think it's fair to say she used Twitter irresponsibly.
but
I think that's fair to say.
well, that's right. We're going into your thing about them using it as a news source later on. That's going to happen a lot more too.
Yeah, but like I think I slipped up by saying that they'll use it as a news source. What I more so meant was that you'll get more real-time updates, but you still have to take it as people. It's not an objective news source. I think I was wrong in saying that. I think I meant what I should have said was that you get real-time updates quicker, but you need to take it as people giving their own opinions.
I agree. I think what I don't want to interpret what you're saying, but I think what's happening is the news, the actual quote unquote legitimate news, needs to catch up, needs to fucking change their business.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think they need to get with the times, and I think they need to update, and they need to be providing news faster. But the problem is, sorry, dude. The problem is that they are fact checking, I believe. So like that's why they're tweeting things. Yeah, that's why they're tweeting things 20 minutes later. Exactly,
and that's why the New York Post just threw it out there because they keep up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I think they were trying to keep up, and they slipped up, and they really fucked up. But I think that Twitter needs to be taken as a source of, yes, these are real-time updates, but they're real people, and these are their opinions, and you need to understand that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Has a news channel ever been canceled? I'm curious. Like, you know, like say Friends had 9 seasons. Is there any news channel that's ever been like it's gonna get? I guess is it gonna get that point where Twitter's? You're saying like eventually like Fox News doesn't exist anymore.
Well, you can't advertise on Twitter,
Right?
like the advertisers haven't started paying for Twitter, so they'll be until that happens.
Those tweets brought to you by.
Yeah, there's no
some that are
threat.
sponsored, that's for sure.
Yeah, there are, but there's some.
it.
You know what I mean? You can't stick an advertisement between every 3 tweets.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're trying with the sponsor.
They'll figure it out.
How are they trying? What do you mean?
They're sponsored. Sometimes you'll read a tweet and it's sponsored. You guys don't get that?
The
I
trending
haven't seen that.
on the trending tweets, there'll be one that's paid for that's trending because it was paid for, and they'll tell you that it was sponsored.
Even in my feed,
Already.
I'll be reading something and I won't even look who it is, and it's someone I don't follow, and then you'll read it, and then it's really small sponsor.
I've had that too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. They already are advertising on it.
Yeah.
Twitter?
It's being like
Yeah.
They have it on Facebook too.
sneaky.
Yeah, I've
Facebook's
noticed
funny.
more
Yeah.
on Facebook lately, actually.
Always at the top of your news.
Yeah, they've been advertising a lot more on
Well,
Facebook
And
lately.
it's so funny too because I'll say something like ate a lot today, and then boom, it's just all like diets and you can't squeeze in my outfit.
Mine always says like it knows. Like I think it knows what you're. So mine's always about meeting
Of
meeting
course,
girls.
yeah, lonely singles, yeah,
Yeah. Does it know I go to like
lonely
porn
black
sites?
slaves.
Yeah, what I think is the what you type into Google
Yeah.
is also affects the advertisements you see on Facebook.
Apparently,
crazy.
your
Yeah.
Siri is stored for 2 years. Apple stores it. Whatever you say in Siri,
Really? Yeah.
it's stored for 2 years.
Wow.
And I just found that out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
See, that's some Big Brother conspiracy.
that's some
shit.
Big Brother conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
Well,
agree
they've had
with,
bots.
worry about
And they
that.
have bots on your phone like crazy for every app you use. They got bots sending information back all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not trying to bomb something, I don't think there's a problem.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I think like it's just there.
If they like to
Yeah.
know,
if it's
Really, is it a problem? Is it not?
but
a
they
problem?
want to know that I like to fucking drain my balls a lot. I mean,
But you
that's
think it
their
only goes
that's
to
more
that,
their problem.
But you
at
think
this
it only
point.
goes to that level? If they
What?
if they know everything about you, you think it only goes to that?
What else?
level?
What else are they gonna know about me? What?
Whatever
They
they
listen to
want.
Van Halen sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, what
I don't
else-
know. I don't feel comfortable with people knowing
What?
everything.
So
about
what?
you.
it is an invasion of privacy,
Yeah.
but
So
I
this
think
is
it's probably
FBI
also
files, just like a Motley Crue CD and a porno.
It's like a scrapbook. Yeah. It's just a scrapbook. It's got an old T-shirt, concert. Okay. So advertisers know exactly what you want, what you like, who you are.
Yeah, it's making it very easy for them.
Yeah. Then they can pick up your emails. They can pick up your passwords. They can pick up.
They can do whatever
Take
they
your
want.
photos.
man.
Yeah.
They
Take
can
your
do whatever.
photos.
Do it all, buddy. Do it all. Take it all.
Really? Is that what you want?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
If they can take, they can put things in too.
Put what in my brain? What
No,
are you
in
gonna
your
do?
phone, in your anything, in your computer.
It doesn't matter. I've never bought. I've bought maybe 3 things off the internet in my life.
But if they want to take you down, they can take you down.
Take me down where? I'm below the poverty line. Where are they going to take me to? What are they going to do to me?
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. To me, it's like that's fucked.
I think
They're fishing your phone.
that's fine. They're not. They could try to sell me whatever they want. I'm not buying. I'm not, buddy. Like it's like meet new girls. I don't go. I fucking just want to. If I get laid, I get laid. If it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna. I'm like, to me, girlfriends are problems, right? Well, I'm gonna go to a website and try to find a headache. You think that's what I'm going to do? Are you fucking crazy?
I'm going to tweet about this right now.
I think what he's saying is it doesn't matter how much information they get from you because the advertising, it shouldn't matter to you anyway. So, if they're sending you specific personal ads, still it's your own responsibility.
Yeah, but they can
not
track
let that
you. Is what
affect
I'm
your
saying.
life.
They can track you. They know exactly who you are. So
Yeah.
It's more than just advertisers.
Yeah, they're building like a profile on you.
And what? And doing what? This guy's a filthy pig that likes to masturbate.
You
Like,
So who gets that information?
Yeah, who gets that
well, who cares who gets it? What are they? What
I
can you
would
do
I
with
would
it?
care. I don't want people to know how much I go on eBay.
What if they decide that you were?
Yeah.
What if they decide that you're a threat?
What?
Decide. What if they need someone?
Because of you jizz?
He was a threat.
The only girls that
It's everywhere.
the only person they have to worry about is maybe the Brazzer girls.
And slave girls, too, actually.
What if? Okay, Greek terrorists become very popular in the next few years,
Okay,
and they need a fucking fall guy.
what was it? Yeah. And I'm the guy. It's like,
Why would
well,
you be
he's
the perfect guy?
I like a movie like him running away.
A broke dude who jerks off all the time. What lawyer? You gonna
He
get?
must have did it.
What lawyer you gonna get?
No one. I don't know. But like, that's what I mean. Like, it's such a weak case, though, man. They're not
A weak case? They lock people away and not for years.
for nothing.
For nothing.
For nothing. I know.
For nothing.
Listen.
No, just we're arguing with a man who doesn't care.
I know. It's true.
It's
It's very sad and sad at the same time.
I want the government to know exactly what I'm going on at all point. And if they really can know, I'd be great. Like if someone's going to fucking child porn sites all the time, maybe that guy needs to be talked to.
That's a big issue right there, too, right? That's a
I
big
love that all the
issue.
time, dude.
What?
It wasn't like if a guy goes on child porn. It's like if he goes on like all the time. If you're only a couple times, if he goes on all the time.
Frequency.
You can dabble in it.
No, but I mean, maybe someone goes on it once somehow,
Yeah.
right? Maybe your buddy types it in for some stupid reason
Yeah,
on your
I don't
computer.
think you accidentally get on.
Like, there's
I don't think you can just type in like little boy dick and then it comes up.
Yeah, you know.
he's not doing it like he's playing a piano.
Child porn.
No, but like I mean, I think it would be great if the fucking government knew what I'm fucking typing into my computer because
Oh, you and I are different people.
I think I bet you there would be a lot less dead children.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Why
Sorry.
is there a lot
Dead
less
children.
dead children? Why would there be less dead children?
People
Yeah, I
typing in
understand
how to
what
get
it
their
is.
child.
How
But if they can
how are you
take
really angry at my child and shake them? Like, people just do it. People just do it.
But if they can take stuff off your computer, you don't think they can put stuff on your computer?
Whoa.
Probably
Right. So
Yeah,
what if they
I
want
would
to
say
put
that.
child porn on your computer?
We are not talking about duck dynasty.
through the internet.
Yeah, what if they put that shit on your computer?
Through the I guess I'm fucked.
All you gotta do is put a code in
Just
there.
look at Brazos.
All you do is slip a code into your fucking computer, and then just some program does whatever.
Listen, I'm
possible.
talking about the sense of it being reality, in the sense of like it'd be great if some guy went on some child porn site like 20 times in the last 2 days.
The problem is
he
that
needs to be talked
we're
to.
innocent until proven guilty. And excuse me.
He needs to be talked to. He needs to be.
Let's
Listen,
go
He needs
get
a
some
timeout.
coffee. Let's go for a talk.
Let's go for a talk.
You do that.
and maybe whatever. Maybe
But
you have
you're
to kill him.
But like you live in a world of guilty until proven innocent, where it's innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Right.
So would you like if you found out some dude been on child porn?
I can't
like
live in a
he
world.
babysits your kid?
I can't do fucking proactive policing. I can't do it. I can't live in a world where I think everyone's fucking guilty.
You would do it. You would do it.
What?
If you had a kid and then you found out this fact about this guy that he went on it was on a porn site, child porn site, several times. You like, no, I'm
No,
sure.
okay, no,
That's
yeah,
fine.
you put me in a situation.
I'll be
if
back
I
in a couple
knew-
hours.
Dude, if I
not
knew,
just once.
dude, if I knew someone was going on child porn sites, yes, but I'm not going to look at the guy across the street and go, oh, he's going on child porn sites. Let me take him down. Like if I had proof that someone was going on
That's
child,
the government's job, though.
I tried.
no, it's not their job.
Yes, it is.
There's a cleaner.
No,
I
it's
think,
not the
I think
government's
what
job.
you're saying is that if someone is doing something bad, there's other ways to find evidence about them. There's no need to completely invade their privacy.
Yeah, but-
Listen,
yeah,
I
that's what
see.
I'm saying.
I see my neighbor through the window stab his wife. Maybe I should call the cops.
Yes.
What?
And then-
What's
Dude,
this? What
maybe.
does that have to do with anything?
You don't have
No,
to maybe.
but if the government finds out this one guy's doing something on the
What
computer,
do you
Maybe
think?
if he
Exactly
stabs
why?
her several times.
Several
Yeah,
times.
One
Okay.
time.
Okay. I'm
Several
not-
times.
Yeah.
Dude,
Several
you
times.
elect the government.
Listen, several times someone
What,
goes on
guys?
several times someone goes on the computer to look at bombs. Okay, the government knows.
fucking what?
Maybe the government sends a little email to fucking the cop shop and say, "Hey, this dude,
Are you fucking crazy?
Maybe he needs to be
Are you
checked
out of your
out.
mind?
Maybe let's go to his house and see if he's got
Are you
fucking
out of
bombs."
Are you out of your mind?
Why?
Because what if I just type in I want to look at bombs? What if I type in I want to look at bombs?
If you're doing bomb research for 100,
Who gives a fuck? I haven't
You can do
built
whatever
a
you
bomb.
want. It's his
Yeah.
I
computer.
haven't built a bomb.
I
just
agree
And
with
also,
you.
like, what if you look at violent images, right? People used to look at, what was that website, rotten.com, or, and, like, people just want to look at, like,
What?
smushed bodies on train
Yeah,
tracks, right?
right.
But, like, it doesn't mean you want to, like, smush bodies on train tracks.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, like, now, if someone was like, okay.
Well, yeah, you're not
some
going to build
Big
a smushed
Brother-
body. Maybe not. But like, if
I
you look,
can't live in my house afraid of my computer.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying be afraid.
Yes, you are.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're
No, he's
saying.
saying be free.
How
Don't
many
care
ti-
about it. Whatever.
Yeah, are you?
So if you,
I mean, you know how many
so if
times-
I'm not looking, so what you're
I
saying,
have
if I
never
type in
typed-
bombs,
Okay.
and I look up bomb research, and they come and get me, you're like, yeah, you deserve that.
Well, listen. If you got no bomb shit in your house, you're fine, dude.
So, but they should come and search my house.
Yeah, they should.
That doesn't scare you at all.
No,
Jesus Christ, dude.
no. Cop pulls me over. I'll be like, it's like, oh, you got any alcohol in the car? I'm like, nope. I mean, you can search my car. You can go in my trunk. Take it apart, man.
This is how we have to become a democracy. We have to tell people like this that they elected these people.
I didn't
And
elect
until we
anybody,
understand-
man.
Yeah, until we understand that we have the power, then they control us.
The only problem is like our electoral system's kind of weird. So it's just voting for the lesser of two evils.
But that's what I'm saying. As soon as we decide that we're going to change the system, that we have the power, that's the only way.
How
to
many
become a
times have you
democracy.
been on the
Sit
internet?
and complain, though.
Right.
They're not actually doing it.
But how many
Yeah.
times have you been on your computer doing bomb research, Gavin?
I've looked at bomb stuff.
Like how many times?
I like once.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but
Once
what's
you're
the-
allowed.
what's
Once
the
it's child
number?
porn. Once you're allowed.
No, but it's like, well, so
once is a slip up.
But it's,
What if in
computer?
one? What if in one search you figure out how to build a bomb?
Yeah, what if that's all I need? What if I
Search.
printed it off?
well, I'm thinking about myself. I think it would take me a long time to figure out how to build
Yeah,
a
what if you
bomb.
print off the instructions?
Bomb making
Maybe
for
do.
dummies.
Yeah. That's what I would tell.
This is. You're right. That's the world we live in. But a democracy.
I remember
is not
hearing
coming
Jerry
until we
Seinfeld say
realize that we have power.
about the media, the press. He's like, I don't worry about the press.
Yeah.
Like about like being out, like if you're not doing it, like like Lindsay Lohan and all that shit.
doing
And
anything wrong.
No, he says if you're not doing anything wrong, what are you worried about? I heard Jerry Seinfeld say that. I agree with that. If you're not doing anything wrong,
Those just the West Memphis 3 or whatever, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were all black,
Yeah.
and they listened to like metal music, and they
Yeah.
got framed for murder.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Like,
bad-
well,
listen,
Trayvon
not
got
only-
shot. He was doing nothing wrong.
I'm not saying bad things aren't going to happen. Shit still happens.
Yeah.
But I'm saying more shit might not happen if
You can't.
People are
No, you
terrified.
can't
It's very-
foreshadow. You can't foreshadow. You get in that guy's time machine.
Yeah.
What Manolis is
Foreshadowing.
saying, though, is I think just very like Zen-like. Just like we can't change it, so let's just go with it.
I think it's more like General Mao.
I don't
It's
know.
more like
that
communist
kid got
China.
shot because the guy didn't like the guy. He had a hood and he was racist, probably, right?
Communist China. That's what Manolis is talking about.
A little bit, yeah.
But
looking at bombs.
The whole internet thing, like, can we change that?
Oh, they did in China.
What happened there?
China, you only get certain amount. Like even Apple goes with it. You get certain amount of websites. They block out the rest.
No,
of them.
I know. Like, but can we change? Can we stop that from happening?
Stop what?
Like that kind of government surveillance? Is there something that we could do to make them not do that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, not go on the computer.
Well, exactly. So then we either are just like ignoring new technology, or we're doing what Manolo says and just being like accepting it.
No, I'm
That's
not.
the thing. If you want to like go against something, then you have to take something away from them. You stop buying gas for a year, or you.
They don't
you know,
understand with money.
But this is the thing. Like I remember even a cab driver who was talking about. I think it was Union Gas. Was it? He was complaining about the bills, how that everything got jacked up so fast in 1 year or whatever. And he's like, you know, everyone's complaining about it. Everybody every day complains about it, but no one's doing everything collectively. Everyone's still like, you know, they have the monopoly on this, and everyone's just, you know, filling up their car because your life is like comfortable. Right?
You know, I'm in Jamaica. They went up like a couple bucks and fucking lit the place on fire. They protest the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Never did it again.
Yeah, you just refuse to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never did it again.
Hey, let me tell you, when that guy was on crack and he passed out on the forklift, and ran into a bunch of product and almost killed me and another person, they still let him work because he was a fast worker because he was on crack. But when we all refused to work with old Cracky cruising around on a forklift, that's the only time that they took him off. We all refused to work. It's unionized, so you're not going to fire everybody.
That happened?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we all just refused. We said, nope, nothing's going out today.
Well, they can't just fire Cracky. It's a union.
Yeah, no, they can't.
They can't just fire
But
Cracky.
So what did they
said
do?
that he has a problem. They made him go home, and then they didn't let him do that job on a forklift for a while.
They're gonna have to
after that.
they're gonna have to pay for him.
No, he's using a pump jack instead of a forklift.
This dude almost hit you with a forklift.
Yeah, like I had to like wedge my body between like two pallets of product to not get like he hit the pallets, but because I was small enough that I could wedge between, that
Shit,
I could
yes.
like. Pardon me?
Was that one of those ones like you're
yeah.
like holy fuck, I almost died there.
Oh yeah, and he was screaming. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he was like
Shit happened. Some of the guy was like super stoned and forgot that someone was loading a truck with a forklift and pulled the truck off the dock, and the forklift was like hanging off of the dock, the guy on it. And the guy on it got in shit because he got off the forklift, and that's not the training we have. You're supposed to hold on tight. That guy got the fuck out of that forklift. He's not holding on tight. There's a stoner that
see that stoner, if he's on the internet doing research on crack, the government talks to him.
That crackhead doesn't own a computer. He
Anyway,
sold it along.
the only way is... yeah, anyway, the only way anyone will listen is to take something away from them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only way to get your message.
That's my point, though.
What is the internet equivalent to that, though? Just not using it?
Not buying... Well, it depends on what...
I don't know. What is that?
Because how they make money mostly is through advertising and just getting our information.
Yeah.
So us not looking at it, I don't know. I think we would have to just divorce ourselves from using the computer.
You'd have to create something else. So, no more Facebook. We need to create something else.
But even then, it's still on the internet, and it's still
The genius about Facebook and advertising is that they've gotten people so selfish and so self-involved and isolated. It's so easy to advertise to people.
Thanks, everyone. That was episode 18 of Girls Night Out. And you can check out all the old episodes at gnopodcast.tumblr.com. Thanks for listening.